Hello everyone, welcome back to Atreyu Crochet. So in today's video, I am going to be showing you how to crochet a Starburst Granny Square. I'm so excited because I absolutely love this pattern, and it's just really cool to start out with a circular piece of work and then end up with something square. Things you will need for this video are a size I USA crochet hook, a darning or tapestry needle, a pair of scissors, and then as you can see from these Starburst squares, you will need a minimum of 4 colors of yarn. I'm using a medium 4. In today's video, we're going to be using various stitches. We're going to be using the chain stitch, the double crochet, the half double crochet, the puff stitch, the cluster stitch, the treble crochet. This is a perfect project for a crocheter, a beginning crocheter, to get a lot of different stitches under their belt and to master them. So if you're interested in learning how to make this Starburst Granny Square, stay tuned. So we're going to start out with the slip knot. Insert our hook and close the loop. Now we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to slip stitch back into that first chain stitch. So yarn over and pull all the way through like that. Now we're going to chain 3. This chain 3 will count as a double crochet, and we're going to crochet 15 more double crochets. So this round will have a total of 16 stitches. And just put them into the ring. 1, 2, and I will meet you at the end when we have a total of 16 stitches, including the chain 3. Now that I've added 15 double crochets into the ring, I have a total of 16 stitches. When I count this chain 3, I'm going to slip stitch into that top chain of the chain 3. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn. It's time to switch colors. Now it's time to switch colors. So I can use any of these stitches to pull the new color in. This is that chain 3. I slip stitch into it, so I'm just going to go to that very next stitch, and I'm going to hook on this green yarn and pull it through. Now I'm going to tie a knot, but before I tie that knot, I'm going to take this red tail and make sure that it's over the stitches and under the green yarn, so that when I tie the knot, it kind of secures it in place. The reason I do this is because I plan on crocheting over that tail. Now I'm going to insert my hook back into that same stitch. I'm going to yarn over and pull through to the front. Then I'm going to pull that green tail that I just created and put it with the red tail, because I'm going to crochet over both of those. Okay? And now I'm going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. So the awesome stitch that we're going to be doing for this round is the puff stitch. I love the puff stitch. It just makes me smile. Alright, so you're going to yarn over, go into that same spot where the chain 3 is. So we're really working out that whole yarn over, pull through to the front, making sure you don't grab any of that red, and pull up like that. See how I'm pulling to the right? Keeping your yarn loose, yarn over, go back into that same hole, pulling through to the front, kind of pulling up and to the right, yarn over, go into the hole, one more time, yarn over, pull up and to the right, and then yarn over. And by the way, before you yarn over, you're going to have 7 loops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's when you've gone in 3 times. So I yarned over, and then I'm going to pull through all 7 of those loops. Now I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to go and put another puff stitch into the very next stitch, the next double crochet below. Don't forget to crochet over these tails while you're doing it. So go in, yarn over, pull up and to the right a little bit, yarn over, keep your yarn and tension loose, pull up and to the right, yarn over one more time, go in there, yarn over, pull through the front, up and to the right, yarn over, and go through all 7 loops, chain 1. Okay, we're going to put a puff stitch in each of these stitches around for a total of 16 puff stitches for the round. So right now I have a total of 15 puff stitches. Don't forget to put a puff stitch into this chain 3. Okay, that's where the last puff stitch goes, and I hope you guys are remembering to chain 1 in between each of the puff stitches, because we're going to be utilizing that chain 1 space in the next round. So last puff stitch is going to go into the chain 3, up and to the right, up and to the right, yarn over, go through all. Don't forget the chain 1 after the puff stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top chain of the chain 3 that started off the round. Okay, we're going to chain 1, cut our yarn, and pull tightly. Now it's time to, yes you know it, switch colors. So this is where I slip stitch. I'm going to go to that very next chain 1 space there, and I'm going to pull my next color through just like before. Pull it through to the front. Before I tie this knot, I'm going to try to lie that green yarn over so that I can crochet over it, and then I'll tie the knot like that. Okay, it just kind of keeps it in place. Then I'm going to put my crochet hook back into that chain 1 space, yarn over, pull it to the front, and I'm going to chain 3. 2, 3. Alright, so for this round we're going to be doing the awesome cluster stitch. The cluster stitch for this first iteration of it will be slightly different because this chain 3 will count as part of the cluster. So with this cluster stitch you should see like 4 double crochets basically, but since this chain 3 is going to count as one of the double crochets, we don't need to go into that space as many times. So you'll see what I mean. So I yarn over, I go into the hole, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2. Okay, now I yarn over and I go back into the hole, pull through to the front, go through 2. Technically I have like 3 stitches right in this space. The chain 3, that quasi double crochet, that quasi double crochet. So I'm going to go in one more time because I told you each chain 1 space is going to have 4 stitches. Yarn over, go through 2. Now that I have 4 loops for this particular cluster stitch only, I'm going to yarn over and go through all of them. Now instead of chaining 1 between stitches, I'm going to chain 2. So I chained 1 between puff stitches, I'm chaining 2 between the cluster stitch. Let's do another one. Find that next chain 1 space which is there. And now we're going to do the regular cluster stitch. So yarn over, go into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull to the front, yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go back in, yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over, go back into that space, yarn over, pull through the front, yarn over, go through 2. If you look here, we have 4 loops on, but we only have 3 stitches, so we got to go in one more time. So yarn over, go to the space, yarn over, pull to the front, yarn over, go through 2, and now we have 5 loops. Yarn over, go through all 5. Chain 2. Okay, so this is the way I want you to think about it. Here's the next chain 1 space. Yarn over. Listen to me as I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 stitches, 4 of these weird double crochets, these incomplete double crochets, which leaves me 5 loops, and then I yarn over and go through all 5. And then I chain 2. Do one more for you. Find the next chain 1 space, which is there. 1, 2, 3. Make sure you only go through 2 of those loops. And 4. I have technically 4 of those incomplete double crochets, 5 loops, so now I can yarn over and go through all 5, chain 2. I will continue doing that all the way around, and I'll see you guys there. So finding this last chain 1 space can be a little bit tricky because whenever you slip stitch, it kind of brings things closer together. So here's the puff stitch, that's the chain 1, and then I slip stitch into that chain 3 that began that round. So actually here's the space right here. Go through 2, yarn over, go in to the circle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, go through 2 more, yarn over, go into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, that's 3, yarn over, go into the chain 1 space, yarn over, pull through the front, yarn over, go through 2, that's 4. I have 5 loops on my crochet hook, yarn over, go through all 5, and don't forget to chain 2. And this time, instead of going and slip stitching into that chain 3, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch over, so that first double crochet, which I guess technically is, you know, the cluster stitch, because all the stitches are a part of it, like that. Okay, chain 1, cut your yarn, and fasten off. Alright guys, so this is what we have so far. It's nice, it's round, it's the Starburst double crochets, puff stitches, cluster stitches, and now it's time to change colors and make this circle square. So just like before, I can pretty much start anywhere I want, okay, in any of these 2 chain or chain 2 spaces. I'm just going to start here. I want to hook the black yarn onto the crochet hook and pull it through. Now I'm going to take this yellow tail, make sure I kind of line it over the top of those stitches, and then I'm going to tie my knot. Once again, I do that because it secures it a little bit better, and I want to start crocheting over it so I don't have to weave it in later on. I'm kind of that person who, when he cooks, he likes to clean as he's cooking. As soon as he's done with a pot or whatever, he cleans it so I don't have this big mess. That's kind of how I see that's kind of how I see, you know, all these tails. It's a mess to have to weave in all these tails. Okay, now that I have this tail here, I'm also going to put that with the yellow. Okay, so let me go into this chain 2 space, yarn over and pull that through, and then now I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you might be wondering, why are you chaining 4? Well, you chain 4 oftentimes when you're going to be making the treble crochet. So just a fresh reminder, you yarn over twice before entering the stitch with the treble. So I yarned over twice. I'm going to go into that same chain 2 space and yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. I'm going to do it again. Yarn over twice, go into the same chain 2 space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Now, we are not going to be doing any chaining between these stitches for now, okay? So I'm going to go into this next chain 2 space, which is there, and I'm going to switch to the double crochet. Okay, so I just did treble, now I'm doing double. So yarn over once, go into that chain 2 space there, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. Notice how it keeps the stitches nice and close because there's no chain in between them. And I'm going to put 2 more double crochets into that same chain 2 space. Alrighty. Now I'm moving to this next chain 2 space. Guess what? I'm going to switch the type of stitch again. So I'm going to the half double crochet. With the half double crochet, I yarn over, I go in, I yarn over, I pull through to the front, I have 3 loops, yarn over, and I go through all 3. I want to put 2 more. Yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through all 3. Yarn over, go into the space, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through all 3. Alrighty, so I have 3 trebles there, 3 double crochets there, 3 half double crochets there. In this next space, I'm going to go back, believe it or not, to the double crochet. I'm going to put 3 double crochets in there. Yarn over, so that's 1, that's 2, and that's 3. Now I'm going to go back to the treble crochet. So I'm going to put 3 treble crochets into this chain 2 space. So yarn over twice, 1, 2, in there, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, another treble crochet, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over twice, go back in there, yarn over, pull through to the front, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. So hard to keep saying fast. Now I don't know if you guys are able to kind of see it, but this is going to be a corner. So with the corner, you know you have to chain. So I'm going to chain 3 in this case, since I'm using the treble crochet in the corner. Normally I would chain 2 or chain 1, but since the stitch is so tall, I'm chaining 3. And now I'm going to put 3 more treble crochets into that same space, to that same chain 2 space. So by the end it will have a total of 6 treble crochets in it. 3 first, and then you chain 2, and then 3 more after the chain. I'm sorry, and then you chain 3, and then 3 more after you chain 3, like that. Okay, so that's my first corner. Now I'm going to follow this pattern again. So that is the 3 treble crochets, so that means I'm going to put 3 double crochets there, 3 half double crochets there, go back to 3 double crochets there, and then I'm going to make another corner. So 3 treble crochets, chain 3, 3 more same treble crochets back in that same one, and that will be the second complete corner. I will meet you once I get around. So I just want to pop on and show you what it's looking like. Okay, I've made that corner. That was the one I did on camera, and then I just did this one, and now I'm entering this next corner. I've put those first treble crochets into that chain 2 space. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to put 3 more treble crochets into that same chain 2 space to create the corner. Sorry, I kind of move fast, and I am in an awkward position, or I'll be moving faster. Okay, and then remember, no chaining on the sides, basically. So I put 3 double crochets into this chain 2 space, 3 half double crochets into that chain 2 space, 3 double crochets into that one, and now we're back almost to where we started. So you look at this and you're like, something looks off. It's because you need the other side of the corner, right? So we're gonna put 3. We're going to go into that initial chain 2 space where we first started. Let's see if we can get a little light on that. And we're going to put 3 treble crochets there. And then to complete this, we're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. We will slip stitch into the top chain of that chain 4 that we started the row with. And then something that I like to do when I'm ending a granny square and I'm slip stitching into the chain 3s, I like to slip stitch into the next stitch over. To me, it just looks a little bit better like that. Now I will chain 1, cut my yarn, try, and then fasten off. Okay. And so this is how to make a Starburst Granny Square. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. I had fun making this. And I should let you guys know that I will be making a video on how to make a back with these granny squares. You're going to need a minimum of 12 of these. You can use the regular granny square pattern. I have a video for that as well. But you're going to need a minimum of 12 squares. And I will have a video coming out relatively soon showing you how to make that. So yeah, happy crocheting, people. I'll see you in the next video.